Hey, Board Games, BJ from Game Gumbo here, back in the Gumbo pot, this time with another Kickstarter Lagniappe, talking about Reef Ruins, a brand new rando rider from Weird Giraffe Games coming to Kickstarter pretty soon. Let's get right to that Game Toppers LLC table, take a look at the components. Just remember, this is a prototype copy. Things could change inside the campaign. I'd like to thank Carla from Weird Giraffe for sending us this game that she designed so we can show it to you. I love rolling rights, flipping rights, what Jake and Danielle from Draft Mechanic used to call rando riders. I just love those kind of games. And this is one that you're going to see some very familiar mechanics, but a couple of twists that I really enjoy. The theme of this game, it's in that Wicked and Wise universe, so it's animals doing magical things. This time it is hydras and otters working together to explore this reef that has some ruined ships, and the player that scores the most points is going to win at the end of the game. This game is one of those like Welcome to, where you can play as many people as you want. It's not really that interactive between the players. It's really more just trying to puzzle out the best score that you can. So many sheets as you got, and as many players as you can play, that's how many you can play. I'm just going to give a brief overview. Then I'm going to go through 3 things that I really enjoy about the game. A brief overview is that our little otter friend is going to mark the 18 rounds that we're going to play. And every so often, as we take these rounds, we're going to get some bonuses. The shells that you see, those are just the ways to manipulate the dice rolls as we play. This is a dice chucking game, so there is some randomness. But there's some ways of mitigating that randomness through those shells. You'll see dice and these stars. The dice will give you an extra number to play on your boards, and the stars are kind of the fun thing. That's the enchantments. So we talked about magic. You can enchant some of the areas of the board to get more bonuses or to score. So let's take a look at those sheets. There's 3 sheets in this game. I know it looks like 2 here, but these are together. 3 sheets in the game. The left side represents the ship ruins that are outside the reef. This middle side is the enchantments that you can cast. Really what you're trying to do there is to get bonuses and multiply the scoring that you're going to make off of the ship ruins. And then the last thing is the reef that you're exploring. And again, that's another way of scoring points and getting some bonuses. Anytime you see these little pearls along the edges or pearls out here, that's a way to get some of these reef bonuses, which is more points, coins, more numbers. So just a fun way to combo up. And yeah, this is one of those combo-licious games. But there's a lot of randomness in it from each round. The nugget is that you can use the shells to mitigate that randomness. The game overview is very simple. Over 18 rounds, each person is going to take a turn to roll these 3 dice. And the dice results are going to be used on these papers. You can play, and we have so far every time, you can play a little lucky number bonus. And that's just either picking a number from 1 to 6 or rolling a random dice. And at the end of the game, anytime you have those numbers on your sheets, let's say I had 6. For every 6 I had on my sheets that I've used, I'm going to get a little bonus of 2 points. So this fun way to maybe break up some of the closer scores. All right, so we've got the 3 dice, and we've got some choices here. We're going to affect one or more of these sheets. If you notice, the first sheet is looking for numbers 1 through 6. And the second sheet is looking for numbers 7 through 12. And what that means is that that's how you activate those particular sheets. Think in terms of like some of the games by Wolfgang Warsch where you're looking for colors to activate different sheets. This is looking for numbers to activate them. So, for instance, if I use this 1 to activate the ship, then what would happen is I would take the remaining dice rolls and I'd add them to the sheets there. And each one of these 6 is a different type of a puzzle. And if I can complete that puzzle by the end of the 18 rounds, I'm going to score the maximum points for that puzzle. And if I boost up my enchantments during the game, I can multiply that score that I have in the ships even higher. So for instance, if I build the pyramid out with a 6, let's say this was a 6 and I used that 6, and then I started building the pyramid, I wouldn't want low numbers. I'd want some big numbers here because the pyramid starts with big numbers on the bottom and then equal to or less numbers going up. But if I can get all of this pyramid filled out, that's 18 coins. And 18 coins, if you look, each one of these sheets matches up to the enchantment sheet. So on that right side, if I can get my enchantments up by marking them out, taking the bonuses along the way, they have these multipliers, a 2 or a 3 multiplier. The number one is kind of the easier one to do. It's just 3 sets of numbers that are the same, but you can get a boost of up to 5 multipliers by that. The pyramid is a little tougher, and you can get 18 coins for it, but the multiplier is only a 3. So puzzling that out each turn is fun. And of course, you can also use your numbers on the third sheet, the reef. The reef sheets that we got were double-sided. There is potentially more that could be in the Kickstarter project, so take a look at that during the campaign. I kind of prefer the B side of the sheet. It's one of those where you start in the middle and then you're scratching out numbers. Each time you use a number over here, you'll scratch out orthogonally adjacent numbers. And what I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to get rows and columns, because as soon as I complete those rows and columns, I can get pearls, and sometimes multiple pearls depending on the sheet. And the pearls are these reef bonuses. Anytime you get a game like those loaded roll and writes from Motor City Gameworks that allows me to take multiple actions or get those combos, that's one of the things I like. All right, the 18 rounds are done. I've been going with the otter each time, rolling these 3 dice. Notice that it's just a central set of dice. So everybody in the group is going to use those same dice, but they'll use them differently depending how they want to play out their turn. We'll total up the scores, and the winner is the one who has the most coins. All right, so let's talk about 3 things that I really liked about this game. Number 1, I love combos. Combolicious games, that's my thing. And so this game does have those combos. You'll start out where it's like, oh, I'm just scratching a number here, putting a number there, and then all of a sudden you're unlocking these bonuses with the pearls and the numbers and the pearls over here, and unlocking these reef bonuses. And all of a sudden you're getting really long turns. You're not just using 3 dice. You might use 4 or 5 or 6 numbers on your turn. And that just seems to ratchet up as you get to the end. So I like that part about it. Number 2, it's got kind of a cool theme. Just like any dice and numbers game, the theme doesn't really matter. I mean, like Can't Stop. Are you really climbing a mountain or going through stop signs? Not really. But if it has a cool setting, it does make the game a little bit more memorable, right? You'll kind of remember it a little bit better. Reef Ruins has this fantastical artwork with the hydras and the otters, and it makes you kind of think, well, Carla goes one better. Inside the rule book, there's an explanation as to why each of these little actions makes thematic sense with the otters and the hydras. That's a cool touch. Not necessary, but it makes the game more memorable. And number 3, I really like the Ship Ruins sheet for the different puzzles. No, none of these are anything that you haven't really seen before in other games, but sometimes a game can take familiar mechanics and add them together in kind of a new way, or a new way of looking at it, and then it makes it a little better. I like the fact that there's 6 different puzzles. I have yet to really do more than 2 or 3, complete more than 2 or 3, and I don't know if that's a winning strategy or not, because I have no one to really compare my scores except around here, because the game hasn't come out yet. But I would be curious as to, it makes me want to keep playing the game to see, okay, which one of these ship ruins really works well with the enchantments, and what reef bonuses can I use to maximize those out. So the fact that there's these ship ruins with these 6 different puzzles is fun. It also makes me think that it'd be pretty simple to come out with some new sheets that could add even more puzzles to the ship ruins. And there's also a little bit of Lagniappe in the project. So we know that the sheets that they have the ship ruins and the enchantments with one side, but on the reef side, they have a B and a C side so far, and maybe even more that's coming out. So it's not just these 3 sheets that work together with one side. There are multiple sides on the reef, and maybe more as the project comes out. So a little bit of Lagniappe for you. All right, that's just a quick look at Reef Ruins, coming out on Kickstarter pretty soon. It's from Weird Giraffe Games. I want to thank Carla Kopp, who designed the game, and also sent us this advanced prototype copy. Remember, things could change in the project. We're just looking at prototypes. That's 3 things that I really enjoyed about it. We've got some more exploring, and I want to see how the campaign goes. But until next time, Laissez, bon temps, rouler.